We're continuing our series on signs that we have the Holy Spirit and the Spirit is moving in us. I'm going to share with you some words of the Apostle Paul, some very personal words from 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 8 through 11. We do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about the hardships we suffered in the province of Asia. We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired even of life. Indeed, in our hearts we felt the sentence of death. But this happened that we might not rely on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. He has delivered us from such a deadly peril, and he will deliver us. On him we have set our hope, that he will continue to deliver us, as you help us by your prayers, that many will give thanks on our behalf for the gracious favor granted us in answer to the prayers of many. The Lord bless this reading from his holy word. I guess I want to point out something very important that every Christian needs to realize, and that is that God never promised us that life would be easy. And not only that, if you read the Bible, and really read the Bible, you'll see that many of in fact, all the great saints of God went through times of trial and testing, and even the best of them came to points in their lives where they despaired, where they felt like there was no reason to go on, that things were hopeless, that they had no more power inside themselves to deal with whatever situations it was that they had to deal with. Well, we all find ourselves in those places. It might be simply you're trying to work for the Lord and you don't see any fruit in your ministry. It could be that you're dealing with a health problem, or maybe the health problem of your children. Maybe it's a financial issue. Maybe it's the hatred you're receiving from people in this world who don't love Jesus, and they know that you do love Jesus, and they don't like it. There are problems beyond measure. And some of them get pretty heavy. Some of them get very hard. Some of them get to the point where you have to ask yourself, why don't I just give up? Give up my faith, give up everything, maybe even give up my life. It just isn't worth the time and the effort. Wish that God would just take me home. And yet we do keep on going. And we don't surrender. And some days we feel miserable and we're tired and we're worn out, but there's something inside us that keeps us going. Kind of like the Apostle Paul. He said, I reached the end of my rope. He said, I was good as dead. God came through. God kept me going. And I want to tell you, that's one of the signs of the Holy Spirit in our lives, that we don't give up, that we keep going. We come to the end of our power at times, and in certain situations, we have no more strength left inside ourselves, and yet on those days something else kicks in, and we don't wither, and we don't die. We don't crawl into a corner, we don't surrender. We live. We keep going. That's the Lord. One of the differences the Christians have from people in this world, the people in the world try their best in many times in many places. They really work hard. They put energy and effort into what they're doing. But sooner or later, if you're just relying on yourself, you realize that your gas tank is empty and there's nothing left to go on. But a Christian is not just operating on their own power. and on our own ability and our own strength. There's something else inside us, and that's the Lord, by His Holy Spirit. Christians find a power that kicks in whenever their power gives up, or perhaps they discover that other power, which is the power of the Lord and His Holy Spirit, has been operating all along and has really been the big power in their lives. But we find that there's something inside us that keeps us from dying, that keeps us from surrendering, that keeps us going even when we have no emotional strength left. It's the Lord. I like to say a Christian is kind of like a hybrid car. Some people have hybrid cars or semi-hybrid cars. And when you have a hybrid car, when the gas gives out, something else is there to kick in. It's kind of like that with the Lord. We're hybrids. We're not just on our own. The Lord is with us by His Holy Spirit. And when you find God giving you the strength to go on, even though you don't know why you should go on, that's another sign God has given you that Jesus is with you and dwelling in your heart to do things for you that you could never do on your own. Lord, thank you for your gift. Give us your power abundantly. Keep us going. Keep us moving. Keep us surviving. And lead us to victory.